Today on POV, we're going to be going over 5 of the most underrated striker-fired pistol. Now, what do I mean when I say underrated? I just kind of mean that it's not a Glock 19, a SIG 320, or a SIG 365. It's kind of not a mainstream striker-fired pistol, something that you don't normally see out there. Seems like ever since the 1980s, when Glock released their very first pistol, just about every single company wanted to make a striker-fired pistol and call it the Glock killer. So these are just 5 that I think may have done that job, especially the one that we're going to talk about at the end of this video. So starting right here at number 5, this is the Canon Type B. All right, now the only thing different about this that is not stock from the factory is DEFCON 3 did put a stippling job on this thing, which is fantastic, I might add. But I think my favorite part about this little Canon Type B is the trigger. It is just very smooth. It's got a nice reset to it. It's just a nice gun. And if you are familiar with the videos, you know that I like to rack my pistols up here. This got a nice little cutout right here to just kind of get your thumb in. It's a nice pistol. And compared to a Glock 19, I'd say it's quite a bit better. Shitty part is it does only have 15 round mags. I feel like everybody ever is making 15 round mags half this size now. I would like to see more rounds in these magazines, but we'll take it. It is a little bit snappy compared to the other guns on the table right now, but I mean, as far as if we're comparing stuff to a Glock 19, this is definitely a much better shooting gun. It does have a slightly lower bore access than a Glock does, and the trigger is just much better. Now, obviously, this is not cut for an optic, but they do also come that way. You can buy one that's optic cut. I just like the Tag Precision sights on these things, so I just run with irons. High grip will get you every time. It's also got a nice little bevel right here for a mag well without having a giant mag well on that. All right, we might as well do a build drill with every single one of these just so we can see which one is going to be the quickest.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Stand by. 120.
Dude, this trigger's good. Number 4 on this list is gonna surprise some people. The Kimber Compact. Now, prior to having this gun, I was unfamiliar that Kimber even made striker-fired guns. I was familiar with their 1911s, and unfortunately, my experience in the past has not been very good at all. I've had a couple of their 45s, and they're pretty damn expensive for a gun that just doesn't work. But this, on the other hand, we put about 500 rounds through this, recording for a short. Now, I dipped this in mud, sand, water. We could not get this thing to stop running. So for that, it made this list. It also shoots pretty damn good. It's got a decent trigger. It does have a higher bore access, but it is a comfortable gun. It's a little compact thing. It's got a mag well. It's got little shelves right here for your thumb. It's just a solid little gun. Here's that trigger pull. You don't have very much squish before you hit your wall. Got a good clean break. A little bit long on the reset, but it feels pretty good when you're actually shooting. I also like that the ejection port is on the side of the slide instead of on the top, so I'm not getting a lot of gas covering the optic. Okay, you good? Yep. Another downside, 15 round mags. Too many targets, getting hard to decide which one I'm going to shoot next. I also really enjoy the little indent they put right here for your middle finger. It's just a good feeling grip. Also like that it's got a little bit of an aggressive texture right under here for your index finger. Just a comfortable gun. Kind of looks like a better version of a high point, so that sucks, but it is a good shooting gun. All right, build drill with the Kimber. Go ahead, Dalton.
123.
All right, moving on to number 3. We got the Smith & Wesson MP 2.0 Compact. Now, obviously, the Smith & Wesson 2.0 is a very popular firearm. It has been around for a very long time, and that has been neck and neck with the Glock 19 for the past decade. But the comp is relatively new, and I don't see enough people talking about it. I don't think it's got the recognition it deserves. It's a really good firearm. Now, some changes they've made here is obviously this has an aluminum grip. They also changed the slide serrations, which I love. I like how these things feel. I like how they look. Now, obviously, they got a little chunk port in the barrel that sticks out through the slide right here. Got nice little windows, top and the sides. Other than that, I think it's pretty much the same old gun. The only thing I did was this and this. YouTube rules. I can't even tell you what they are. He stopped. We gotta wait 15 rounds, and he takes forever to load him back.
Hey, go fuck yourself. Going as fast as I can, Dad.
Thanks. Good mag loader. All right, should we try the bill drill?
Yeah.
You know, this is the first time I've ever had one of these little EOTech, RMR style red dots. I have a bunch of actual EOTechs, but this thing isn't bad. And they're decently cheap. I don't like how thick the base is, though. It doesn't like sit on the slide nicely. It's not like I'm gonna be able to co-witness my irons, but it's a decent red dot. I'm not getting like sun flare or nothing. It's still a crisp dot when I point it in the direction of the sun, which seems to be a pretty hard thing for companies to do with red dots nowadays.
Ready?
Yep.
Stand by. 121.
Before we move on to number 2, we need to talk about something else that is extremely underrated: Tacpack. Tacpack is a monthly subscription service to send you tactical gear to your house every single month. It's like a tactical Christmas once a month, and we love Tacpack. Inside of these things, you can expect gear from brands like Battle Arms Development, 9-Line, Reptilia, 511, CMMG, CRKT, Fab Defense, and Mission First Tactical. There's all sorts of good stuff inside of these things. You never know what you're going to get. Tacpack has 2 main tiers. They got the Standard and the Plus. The Standard is going to cost you $59.95 ship, but that value inside of the box is going to be anywhere from $90 to $120. Tacpack Plus is going to cost you $139.95 ship, but that value is going to be anywhere from $240 to $300 in it, making it the best bang for the buck. And new subscribers that use code PEW are also going to receive a free EDC box worth about $60 on top of your order. The next Tacpack is going to feature stuff from Fab Defense, CMMG, and Mission First Tactical. Let's see what you get inside of one of these things. Right off the top, you've got a Bushnell Optics red dot for your AR-15 or what have you. Then we got a charging handle from Battle Arms Development, a SOG fixed blade with a sheath, Kung Fu grip for your rifle, and then a sweatshirt from 9-Line Apparel. So you get some pretty cool gear inside of these boxes. Remember to use code PEW. I'll put a link down in the description below. Now let's get back to it with number 2. All right, moving on up to number 2, we got the CZP-10F. This thing is just awesome. I think these things were kind of a fad for a little bit, but not a lot of people use or talk about CZP-10s anymore. These things are actually really good guns, and they're relatively inexpensive. Now, this one was sent off to Cajun Gun Works. It is ported. It's got a lighter one of these things, and red dot, all that good stuff. A red dot that is currently dead, but we got co-witnessed iron sights, so. Like how there's smoke coming out of the mag well. That's a cool new feature. All right, now a build drill with the P10. Yep.
Stand by. 112.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the first shot was a little bit faster. I don't think the splits really, it didn't seem any faster than the rest of them. All right, moving on up to number 1. Now, this is a striker fire pistol that I think should be considered the new industry standard. I think we should push out the Glock 19 and bring in the Springfield Echelon. Springfield did it right the very first time. This thing has everything you can ever want. It's just a really well thought out gun, from their optic plate system, their serrations on top, the trigger, the fact that you can just change out your grip module for a compact or a full size. Everything you need and nothing you don't, and it's coming in at a decent price. These things have also been torture tested. Like, Honest Outlaw did a really good video on a Springfield Echelon, and it performed exceptionally well. Not to mention the round counts that people are putting these things through. They're developing a hell of a track record. I think this should be the new industry standard, but this is not the gun we're going to be talking about today. Because Springfield just upgraded the Echelon. This is the new Echelon Comp. Just when you thought a good striker fire pistol couldn't get any better, they put a comp on it. Now, I did put a Sharps Pro grip module on this and an SRO, but other than that, it is completely stock. Good thing about a Springfield Echelon is the aftermarket options are becoming more and more available, so if there's something that you don't like, there's probably an option to change that. Now, this is brand new to me, and I'm looking forward to shooting it. I have shot a ton of rounds through this thing, and so far the only difference that I have noticed is obviously the muzzle flip is quite reduced and the trigger feels better on this one. I don't know why. Maybe this is just a worse trigger. I don't know. This thing is, the reset's just a little bit better. Here's a trigger on the original. A decent break, but I can't really hear an audible reset. It's not like forcing me forward. It's just a little bit squishy. Better than a Glock? Absolutely. But room for improvement like this. Better break, better reset. I don't know how much that's going to show up on camera, but I can definitely feel a huge difference when it comes to shooting the thing. I'm obsessed with these serrations up here. Just got a nice little indent, kind of like that Canon Type B. It's just well thought out. It's also got like almost a charging handle for people that like the rack back here. It's just really nice. Such a good gun. All right, now we're gonna try a build drill with this. I think this is more like 6.5. I think we're cheating here, but good. Yep.
113.
Those were wildly anywhere other than A zone. You can just blur that out, right? All right, we're gonna have Dalton shoot all of these things. He's just gonna run a build drill with every single one. Obviously, you work with me, you've shot every single one of these things. You've already formed your opinion, but I want you to run a build drill with every single one of these just so you can, you know, if there's something that you would have changed in the order of my 5 list, just get your opinion.
Yeah.
What do you want to start with?
Let's go with the Type B.
Do it.
I've not liked this gun. Let's see if it outperforms my thoughts.
154. That was pretty damn good. I want to see you do that with a Glock 19. That's my point. Like,
No.
when it comes to, it would just outperform a Glock in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it does. This trigger is insane.
Unfortunately, the reason these guns are, you know, underrated because when it comes to a Glock 19, you can get so many aftermarket parts for it. You can make it perform quite a bit better than these can stock.
Exactly. Like you can find whatever you want. Like I carry a Shadow Systems MR920.
Gas
Why?
station knife.
Why? Because it's a aftermarket Glock 19, and I can put all of the aftermarket Glock parts in it. Like
I'm saying like stock versus stock.
right, exactly. I had to spend $2,200 on a Glock 19 to make it run half as good as these.
Yeah, I would rather have that stock than a $2,200 Glock 19.
That's exactly. All right, so now we have the Kimber Carbon Compact. See if this thing's faster or slower.
Ready?
Yep.
Stand by. I can't count either. Don't feel bad.
Let's go again.
You ready?
Yep.
Don't worry. I can't count either.
All right, well, build drill is you only get 5 with a Kimber Carbon Compact.
Call that the ill drill.
It's a comfortable gun. I don't hate the break. It's the reset that gets me.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
But other than that, I do like that that's covered.
Yeah, that gun.
No, I do like the fact that the slide is. This is the Smith MP comp with the stuff. You ready?
You're ready.
Yep.
Stand by.
That was terrible.
143.
Really?
Yeah.
I slapped the shit out of trigger.
There you go. Yeah, you don't gotta release very far for that reset. Just run out the mag.
I'm trying to find it. Yeah, you don't have to move your finger very far.
And when you're used to a normal MP, it's you're going way further than you need to.
But that comp, the dot never left the window.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
The EOTech, I was actually surprised. I figured it'd be like a regular run-of-the-mill red dot, because EOTech's normally known for rifle dots, but it doesn't starburst in the sun, and it's a crisp dot.
Right.
I like how wide the window is to it. It seems a little wider than most, like hollow suns and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't like how
Short it is?
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit taller. 'Cause, you know, that's kind of what you need when the gun is recoiling, a little bit more length in your window to keep your red dot in your eye. But
That's why I run SROs on everything, though.
yeah, but with a comp, it's not really necessary. Now that on a Glock 19, fuck Glock.
Now we have the updated Echelon, the comp version. We'll see if this is any faster.
Shoot ready.
Yep.
Bye. Little trigger hang up.
I'll
But
hang up at the beginning, but I got it going.
yeah, it's still 154. That's still a solid drill.
It's in the ballpark.
You had the B to that one. That was good. Progress, baby.
SRO makes a difference. I mean, at this range, you're not entirely staring at your dot,
I agree.
but it's like a point of reference. I'm there. Send it.
I think my favorite part about the Echelon in general is that I obviously love SROs. The biggest problem when it comes to an SRO is the hood that overlaps the top of your chamber. You get a lot of malfunctions and you get a lot of gas on the front of your SRO. With the Echelon, this thing sits so low and the hood just goes right over that gap where you would have gas. It just, like I said, everything is well thought out. Even with this, you can run your regular iron sights and get a nice co-witness picture. I really like this gun.
That's where we also thought when that got put on there, we thought it was going to do the stovepipe jam.
Right.
But it hasn't had an issue.
No, it kicks it out to the right so well that it's just not something you got to worry about.
One of my, quickly becoming one of my favorites is this P10. I wasn't so sure about it, and then Nick's like, you just got to shoot it. Like, try it. I was like, okay. And trigger's amazing. The ports really keep it flat. Let's run it.
$200 less than a Glock 19.
Yeah, right? All done.
Shoot her in. Yep. That was the Babil drill. That was 158. Even with an extra shot, that was probably...
Yeah, I mean, it's
still solid, though.
ballpark with an extra shot. This one felt faster, though.
Yeah, I mean, the trigger is phenomenal and it's ported.
Yeah.
But that's not a stock. Obviously, a stock B10 is not going to perform like that, but still a very good gun. That's why I made the list.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, don't like stock guns very much, as you may have seen. So I don't own a stock B10.
I don't own very many stock guns, period.
Yeah. I mean, they're all stock, YouTube. All stock with 10-round magazines.
Yes, zero modifications.
Super semi-auto. All right, we're keeping this short and sweet. We decided to not go into specs and actual details of every single gun because there's so many videos on every single one of these. If you guys want a good review, a good detailed review, go check out Honest Outlaw. He's got videos on all of this stuff. I just kind of wanted to bring more attention to something that I think is underrated. Dalton, what did you think about him? What would be your,
My order?
Yes.
My order would probably be the Kimber at 5.
Okay.
Because I do think it is a good carry gun, and I wasn't expecting that out of Kimber making a striker fire. They're normally known, like you said, for hammer fire 1911s.
Dude, my thing with this thing is that it made it through all the mud and the sand and didn't have a single hiccup, which I have never seen that with any handgun ever.
Right, its durability is second to almost none.
That's why it made number 4 for me.
To go number 4 is the Type B. The low bore axis in that trigger, obviously DEFCON's stipple job always makes everything better, but
100%.
As a stock gun, I mean, this is probably, there's no light, no dot, no nothing on it other than the stipple. It's bare. So that would probably be my number 4 just because I have a hard time shooting it for some reason. No, I'm going to have to go the MP for number 3. I think you did the same, right?
Yes.
I really, really like this gun.
I do too.
There is zero things wrong with this gun.
The stock trigger was a little... It is a duty style gun. It's a carry gun. So
it's a stock trigger, right?
It's definitely a stock trigger inside of this, but if it weren't to be a stock trigger, it would be much more better now.
But yeah, no, like you were saying, it is a duty gun and they compensated it.
Right.
And they took a duty gun and just put a touch on it.
I want this same gun with a polymer frame. The same size. I think they go a little bit smaller with a poly frame, but I'm not a huge fan of metal frames. I think if it had more polymer flex, it would be a softer shooting, mo better gun. I want to see that in a poly gun.
I didn't even think about that. That's a great point.
No.
I didn't think about how this is steel.
No.
So that's why I put this at number 3. It's a great choice. It's the middle ground between duty and competition.
Right.
I feel like you lean one way or the other with the other stuff. Number 2 is the Echelon. The comp version took it away. I think if it was the standard Echelon, I would be farther down the list.
I agree.
I'd probably swap out the Smith with this. But now that they got this comp version, plus the Sharps Bros module, this thing is nice. It's everything, like he said, everything you need, nothing you don't.
Like I said, the only real reason I put this at number 1 is I think it should be the new industry standard. I'm not saying this is a better gun than them, obviously. Like, that's not what industry standard means. I just mean, like, as a new referral point to which companies should be, upgrading their, like, the optic system or the slide serrations. I think this should be the standard.
Where do you start?
Exactly. I think this is it. I think companies should take notes and just work off of this and make it better. I see a lot of companies working backwards from that, and they're garbage.
You're trash. My number 1. My number 1 is the P10. For some reason, I like how slim this grip is.
You see your man bun growing in already.
I just ordered scarves off Amazon.
Nice.
Shut up. But I like this P10. For whatever reason, it just fits well in my hand. I know it's not supposed to fit well in your hand, like blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I like a good feeling gun, good grip. If you can get good grip and have it ported and have an amazing trigger.
Did you just have a stroke? Are you okay?
All of those things combined and at the price that it comes is kind of insane. I thought these guns were 4 digits, and then he made me realize that they were half that. So that's kind of cool. Only issue with this gun, if you watch his short, is it's not really drop safe anymore.
I mean, if you drop anything hard enough, they're not really drop safe. But yes, with the super unmodified stock trigger, that thing is not very drop safe.
That's the only issue. But if you keep your weapon retained in a decent holster and don't fuck up, you'll be fine.
All right, so for an honorable mention, I didn't want to go into detail because I think this is just like not really on par with the rest of the guns, but the new Bodyguard 2.0 and 380 is such a good gun. It just deserves some recognition. It is a super solid little gun. It punches way above its weight class. It's just a good little carry gun. But it is a 380 and the rest are 9, so I figured we would keep that out there, but give it an honorable mention. I want to hear what you guys would have on your top 5 most underrated pistols in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.